The signal came from far beyond Uranus, where the cold dark stretched deep and long. It was soft, like a whisper lost in wind. Most people would have missed it, but Lisa Martinez didn't. She sat alone in the small control room of the Uranus relay station. Her job was simple: watch the screens, log data, report anything unusual. Most days nothing happened. Space was quiet, boring even. But that night, something changed. Lisa leaned closer to the monitor. A faint tone repeated every few seconds. She tapped a few keys and adjusted the filters. The sound sharpened. Then came the voice. "Help. Please. Help me." It was a child's voice. Weak, scared, speaking broken English. Lisa froze. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. She played the message again. "Help. I'm alone. Cold. They're gone." Her heart beat faster. This wasn't a drill, wasn't a test. Someone out there was really calling for help. She pulled up the tracking data. The signal came from a point beyond the Kuiper Belt, far past the edge of human exploration. No colonies, no satellites, no ships were supposed to be there. She called. Dan Porter, her shift supervisor. He came in with a tired look on his face. "What is it?" he asked. She played the message again. Dan listened. He frowned. "Could be an old probe," he said. "Or just static." "No," Lisa said. "That's a kid. Listen again." He did. And for a moment he looked unsure. But then he shook his head. "Probably a prank," he said. "We get them sometimes." But Lisa didn't believe him. She kept working. She cleaned the signal more. "Found more fragments. Please help me. Don't leave me." She recorded it. Uploaded it to a few forums. Didn't tell anyone. Within hours, people started talking. The clip spread fast. Comments filled with guesses and theories. Some said it was fake. Others thought it was a movie stunt. But many believed. "Someone should go," one post read. "If it's real, we can't ignore it," another said. Lisa watched as the message turned into a movement. Hashtags appeared online. Jarsk answer. The call. Find the star child. Her help is kin Nessa. Few scientists tried to explain it away. Governments stayed silent. Big news channels ignored it. But regular people didn't. Videos showed families watching the message together. Kids cried. Adults shared their own stories of fear and hope. And slowly a question formed in everyone's mind. What if it's real? Weeks passed. No official mission launched. No one had the time, money, or interest to chase a signal from nowhere. But in a small town in Texas, a man named Jake Tanner heard the call. He used to fish in Alaska, retired after 20 years at sea. Now he lived alone, fixing engines and reading books about space. When he heard the child's voice, something inside him shifted. He posted online, "I'll go." People laughed at first. Then others joined. Nurse from California wrote, "I can help if you find them." A mechanic from Ohio said, "I can fix the ship." A linguistics student from New York added, "I speak 6 languages. Maybe I can talk to them." They had no money, no training, no permission, but they had hearts full of hope. They raised what they could, sold old tools, borrowed cars, begged friends for support. They found an old cargo ship docked in Mars orbit, the SS Liberty. It was slow, rusty, barely flying. Its owners agreed to let the group borrow it, thinking they'd never make it past Jupiter. They didn't care. They met for the first time in a dusty hangar. No speeches, no cameras, just a handshake and a promise. "We go together," Jake said. "We bring them home." Beck replied. Others nodded. They spent weeks preparing, learning how to fly the ship, fixing what they could, mapping the coordinates. Lisa found every night they listened to the message again. "Help, please." It gave them strength. On the day of launch, only a few people came to see them off. Family, friends, strangers who believed. As the engines roared to life, they looked back one last time. Then they lifted off, leaving Earth behind. Space opened wide before them. The stars blinked silently. And somewhere far beyond the edge of known space, a child waited. Alone. Cold. Afraid. But not forgotten. Because humans had heard the call. And they were coming. The SS Liberty drifted through space like an old boat on a quiet sea. Its hull was patched. Its engines groaned, but it flew. Just barely. Inside, the crew settled into their new lives. Jake Tanner took charge of navigation. He had no formal training, but he knew how to read maps and trust his gut. Beck Cruz, the nurse-turned-medic, kept things clean and made sure everyone stayed healthy. Isaac Grant worked on the ship's systems, fixing what he could with scrap and duct tape. Amira Khalid, the linguistics student, studied the signal, trying to understand more than just the words. They were 5 people in a broken ship, chasing a voice in the dark. Days turned into weeks. Food was simple. Dried meals, canned beans, powdered drinks. Sleep came in short shifts. Tempers flared now and then, but they held together. One night, while staring at the stars, Jake asked, "You think we'll find him?" "We have to," Beck said. "If we don't, who will?" Isaac added, "I keep thinking about how scared he must be, alone out here." "Yeah, we have to find him," Amira nodded. His voice, it's not just asking for help, it's begging us not to forget him. The silence after that was heavy, but not sad. It was full of purpose. Then, one morning, Isaac called from the comms room. "Guys, come quick!" They ran in. Isaac pointed at the screen. "I found more of the message," he said. He played it. Cold. Hiding. They took them. Then another piece. "Don't know how long I can wait." And finally, "Please, someone." The crew stood still. The fear in the child's voice was real. Raw. "We're close," Amira said. "His signal is stronger now." "Then let's not waste time," Jake said. "Set course. All ahead." The Liberty pushed forward, but space was not kind. A few days later, the oxygen filter failed. Isaac spent hours trying to fix it. He patched wires, replaced parts, cursed under his breath. Finally, it sputtered back to life. "Not perfect," he said, "but it'll hold." Next came the fuel leak, then a cracked window in the storage bay. Every problem tested them, but they kept going. During a meal break, Beck asked, "Why are we doing this?" No one answered right away. Finally, Jake said, "Because if it was one of ours out there, we'd want someone to come." "But we don't even know what he looks like," Amira said. "Doesn't matter," Beck replied. "He's a kid." That's enough. Weeks passed. The stars never changed. The silence never broke. Until one day it did. Isaac shouted again, "Something's out there." They rushed to the view screen. A small object floated ahead. Dark. Damaged. "Could be debris," Jake said. "Could be," Isaac agreed. "Or it could be the source of the signal." They moved closer. It was a ship. Small. Alien. Broken. Its surface was scorched. Panels were missing. Lights flickered weakly. "That thing's been through hell," Beck said. "And maybe someone survived," Amira added. Jake looked at the team. They all felt it. Hope, fear, and something deeper. "Let's go inside," he said. They docked as best they could. The ships connected with a hiss and a shudder. They put on suits and stepped across. The air was thin but breathable. The inside was cold. Walls were cracked, consoles sparked. They searched carefully. Then Amira saw it. A door half open. She called softly, "Hello?" Silence. Then a sound, a soft whimper, from behind the door. They moved slowly. Beck held a med kit. Jake carried a light. Amira stepped forward first. In the corner of the room, curled up in a blanket, was a small figure. Silver skin, big eyes, trembling hands. A child. He looked up. Tears in his eyes. He whispered in a shaky voice, "Help me." They didn't know his name yet. Didn't know his world. But none of that mattered. He was alive. And they had found him. They dropped to their knees. "We're here," Amira said gently. "You're safe now." The child reached out, and they reached back. Not because they were heroes, not because they were rich or famous, but because they were human. And when someone calls for help, they answer. The child's name was Kiri. He said it with a soft voice like he was afraid to speak too loud. Amira sat beside him, repeating the name gently. "Kiri. That's a good name." He gave a small nod. His silver skin shimmered under the ship's dim lights. His big eyes looked at each of them wide with fear and hope. They helped him onto the SS Liberty. Beck wrapped him in warm blankets and gave him water. He drank slowly, like he hadn't had clean water in days. Isaac checked his body for injuries. There were cuts and bruises, but nothing life-threatening. What worried him most was how cold Kiri felt. "You must be freezing," Isaac said. Kiri nodded again. "Ship. Broke. No heat." "We'll keep you warm now," Beck said. "You're safe." But they all knew that wasn't true yet. Back, on the alien shuttle, Jake and Amira searched for more clues. The ship was a wreck. Wires hung from walls. Seats were torn loose. Bloodstains marked the floor. "Someone else was here," Jake said. "Maybe others like Kiri," Amira asked. "Maybe," Jake replied. "Or maybe something happened to them." They found a broken console. Amira tried to pull data from it, but most files were lost. One message looped over and over. "Abandon. Save the children." That was all. They took what they could and returned to the Liberty. Kiri was asleep when they got back. Beck sat nearby watching him. "He hasn't slept in days," she said. "His body's weak." "Did you find anything?" Isaac asked. Jake handed over the damaged drive. "Not much. Just a warning." Amira started working on it. After hours of trying, she managed to recover a few more words. Attack, no survivors, hide, run. She looked up. This wasn't an accident. Someone attacked this ship. "Pirates?" Isaac asked. "Could be," Jake said. "But if so, where are they now?" They didn't have answers. Over the next few days, Kiri began to heal. He stayed quiet, speaking only when asked. Amira spent time with him, learning bits of his language. He told her about his home, a world far from Earth, about his parents, gone, about the attack, fast, dark, and silent. He called it the Echo Hunter. "What does that mean?" Beck asked. Amira shrugged. "From what I can tell, it's not a person. It's a machine, built to hunt survivors." A chill passed through the crew. "So we're not just rescuing him," Isaac said. "We might be, running from something. Something dangerous," Amira added. They talked late into the night. Should they turn back? Go deeper? In the end, Jake made the call. "We came here to help, we're not leaving him behind." They agreed, but space was never kind to brave hearts. 2 days later, while Isaac and Jake worked on repairing parts of the alien shuttle, a strange reading appeared on the radar. Dan Porter, monitoring from Uranus, sent a message. "You've got something closing in fast." "How fast?" Jake asked. "Too fast," Dan replied. "And it's not showing any heat. Almost like it's not even there." They scrambled back to the Liberty. Kiri woke up crying. He pointed at the screen. "It's here," he whispered. They barely had time to react. A dark shape flew past them, bleak black, silent. Then it turned and came back. "Get us out of here," Beck shouted. Jake hit the thrusters. The old ship groaned and shuddered as it shot forward. Behind them, the thing followed. No weapons fired, no calls made, just silence and fear. Isaac stared at the screen. "What the hell is that thing?" "Doesn't matter," Jake said. "We need to lose it." They dove toward a nearby asteroid field, hoping the tight turns would slow their pursuer. It didn't. The shadow moved with them, never falling behind. Finally, Amira noticed something. "It's locking onto the alien shuttle's signal," she said. "If we cut the link, it might stop tracking us. Do it," Jake ordered. Amira cut the tether between the Liberty and the damaged shuttle. Immediately, the dark shape veered off, chasing the abandoned ship instead. They watched in stunned silence as the Echo Hunter vanished into the void. For now, they were safe, but they knew one thing for sure. They weren't just rescuers anymore. They were being hunted, and whoever, or whatever, sent the Echo Hunter wouldn't stop until Kiri was gone, and maybe until they were too. The SS Liberty drifted through space, its lights dim, its engines tired. The crew sat in silence after what had just happened. The Echo Hunter was gone, for now, but it left a cold fear behind. Kiri stayed curled in his blanket, eyes wide, breathing fast. He kept whispering something over and over in his own language. Amira tried to calm him, speaking softly, holding his hand. "It's okay," she said. "You're safe." But they all knew that word. Safe didn't mean much out here. Isaac checked the ship's systems. Fuel was low, oxygen was holding, but the real problem was the damage from the wild escape. "We got lucky," Isaac said. "This old bucket held together." "Luck won't help if that thing finds us again," Jake replied. Beck sat beside Kiri with a warm drink. He took it, slowly, hands shaking. "What was that?" she asked Amira. Amira looked up. "From what I can understand, the Echo Hunter is a machine, built to hunt survivors. Once it locks on, it doesn't stop. So we can't go back," Isaac said. "Not ever." Jake stood at the front of the room. "Then we keep moving forward." They spent the next few hours checking every system, patching what they could. Isaac worked on the engine while Jake and Amira went over the alien shuttle data. Again, they found more bits of messages. No trace. Erase all signs. Silent war. No one must know. Echo Hunter never fails. Those words chilled them. "Someone's hiding this war," Amira said. "They don't want anyone to know it's happening." "Well, we know now," Jake said, "and they weren't going to forget." Later that night, Beck noticed Isaac wasn't feeling well. He was pale, sweating, and his arm hurt where he had scraped it during the scramble to get back on board. "Let me check that," she said. She cleaned the wound and frowned. The skin around it was dark, almost black. It felt cold to the touch. "Isaac, when did this happen?" "Back on the alien shuttle," he said. "Just a scratch. Doesn't look like a scratch now," Beck said. She ran a quick scan with the portable medkit. Nothing made sense. The tissue was dying, but there was no infection, no poison, no known cause. "This isn't normal," she told the others. Kiri looked at Isaac's arm and gasped. He backed away, eyes full of fear. Amira knelt beside him. "What is it? What's wrong?" He pointed at Isaac and whispered, "Echo touch." No one liked the sound of that. "What does that mean?" Jake asked. Amira translated as best she could. "I think it means the hunter leaves something behind, something that spreads." "Like a sickness?" Isaac asked, voice shaky. "Maybe," Amira said. Beck got to work. She cleaned the wound again, gave Isaac medicine, and watched closely. But the blackness didn't go away. It stayed. For now, it wasn't getting worse. But none of them believed it would stay that way. The next day, they argued about what to do. "We need to turn back," Isaac said. "If this gets bad, I don't want to risk the rest of you." "We're not leaving anyone behind," Jake said. "We also can't die out here," Isaac replied. "We find a cure," Beck said. "Or we get help." "Help from who?" Isaac asked. "We're halfway across the solar system. The nearest human base is weeks away." Kiri listened quietly. Then he spoke. "My world, maybe, have answers." They turned to him. "Can you take us there?" Amira asked. Kiri nodded. "Yes, but it's far." "How far?" Jake asked. "Many jumps," Kiri said. "Long time." Isaac looked at his arm. The black line hadn't spread yet. He still had time. "Then let's go," he said, "before it's too late." They set a new course. As the Liberty moved forward, Dan Porter sent a message from Uranus. "Earth's Talking about you, he said. People are watching. Some are calling you heroes. Jake shook his head. We're not heroes. We're just trying to do the right thing. Dan smiled. Sometimes that's enough. The signal faded. In the quiet of space, the ship carried 5 humans and 1 scared child toward an unknown world. They were being hunted. One of their own was sick. And the truth behind the Echo Hunter was waiting in the stars. But they didn't turn back. Because when someone calls for help, they answer. The SS Liberty moved through space like a tired traveler. The crew worked hard to keep it flying. Isaac stayed quiet most of the time now. His arm was worse. The black line had grown past his elbow. He didn't complain, but they could see the pain in his face. Beck tried everything she knew. Medicine, cold packs, even old home remedies. Nothing slowed the sickness. It's not normal, she said one night. This isn't just a wound, it's something else. Amira sat with Kiri, asking questions, learning more about the Echo Hunter. You said it leaves the Echo touch behind, she said. What does that mean? Kiri looked scared. He pointed at Isaac's arm. It takes, he whispered. Slowly, until you're gone. No one liked hearing that. Jake stood up. Then we stop it before it takes him. How? Beck asked. We find a cure, Jake said, or we find someone who can help. They kept going. Days passed. The stars stayed silent. The ship groaned under the weight of their worry. Then came the message from Uranus. Dan Porter's voice crackled over comms. You're not alone anymore, he said. People on Earth heard what's happening. Some are scared. Some are angry. But many want to help. He played a short clip. A young girl spoke into a camera. My name is Emily, she said. I'm 10 years old. If aliens are real and they need help, then we should help them. Another video showed a doctor talking to news reporters. If this Echo Touch is a disease, we might be able to fight it. But we need samples. More messages followed. Scientists offering ideas. Engineers willing to build tools. Families sending hope. For the first time since they left Earth, the crew felt like they weren't just 5 people in a broken ship. They were part of something bigger. But the danger didn't go away. One night while navigating, Jake saw something on radar. That can't be right, he said. Isaac leaned over. What is it? Something's following us, Jake said. They all went to the screen. A dark shape floated far behind them. It wasn't moving fast. Not yet. Echo Hunter, Kiri whispered. How did it find us again? Amira asked. Maybe it never stopped. Looking, Beck said. They had no weapons. No way to fight. But they couldn't run forever. Isaac looked at his arm. The blackness was spreading faster now. We don't have much time, he said. Jake made a choice. We use what we've got, he said. We outsmart it. They gathered around the table. Isaac, weak but sharp, suggested an idea. We make it think there's another target, he said. Draw it away. How? Jake asked. Isaac smiled. We rig the last piece of alien tech we have. Make it send a fake distress call, big enough to fool the hunter. And then? Beck asked. Then we jump to hyperspace, Amira said, before it realizes the truth. It was risky, dangerous, maybe stupid, but it was their only chance. They worked fast. Isaac and Jake built the signal booster from scrap parts. Amira programmed the distress code. Beck and Kiri helped where they could. When it was done, they launched the device into space. It blinked to life. A loud, clear call filled the void, the same kind of signal that had brought them here in the first place. The Echo Hunter turned and followed. Now, Jake shouted. Amira hit the hyperspace drive. The stars stretched. The ship shuddered. Behind them, the Echo Hunter chased the false call and vanished into the dark. They jumped once, then again. Far away now. Safe. For now. Isaac collapsed into his seat. His breathing was heavy. Did it work? He asked. Jake looked at the screen. Empty space. Yes, he said. We lost it, but they all knew the Echo Hunter wasn't the only problem. Isaac was still sick. They needed answers. Fast. And Kiri had one more secret to share. "There's a place," he said. "A hidden world. My people used to go there when they were in danger." "Can you take us?" Amira asked. Kiri nodded. "Yes, but it's far." "Then let's go," Jake said. They set a new course, toward the unknown, toward hope, because even in the cold dark of space, they still believed in helping others even if it cost them everything. The SS Liberty flew deeper into space than any human ship had gone before. The stars looked different out here. Brighter, colder, older. Kiri sat by the window most days, watching them pass. He didn't talk much, but when he did, it was about home. "My world was green," he said one night. "Trees like towers, sky full of lights." Amira listened closely, writing down his words, learning his language piece by piece. Isaac stayed quiet now. The black line on his arm had reached his shoulder. He still helped where he could, but he tired fast. Beck never left his side for long. They were all tired, but they kept going. After many jumps, Kiri finally pointed at the screen. "There," he said. "Home." They saw a small planet floating in the dark, blue and green, with clouds that moved, like waves. It looked peaceful, but something felt wrong. Jake turned to the crew. "We don't know what's waiting down there," he said. "Could be help, could be danger." "We have no choice," Isaac said weakly. "This is our only shot." They entered orbit. No signals came from the surface. No ships rose to meet them, just silence. They landed in a forest clearing, surrounded by tall trees and thick air. As they stepped out, the warmth of the planet hit them like a hug. Kiri ran ahead, calling out in his own tongue. Echoes came back. Not voices, but movement. From behind the trees, figures appeared, small like Kiri. Silver skin. Big eyes. Children. Dozens of them. They watched silently, unsure. Then one stepped forward. Older than the rest. She looked at Kiri, spoke his name, he smiled. "Lena," he said. She ran to him and hugged him tight. Others followed. They crowded around the humans, looking at them with wonder and fear. Lena turned to Amira. "You brought him home?" she said in broken English. Amira blinked. "You speak our language?" "Some," Lena replied. "We learn from others, traders, wanderers." They led the crew to a hidden village deep in the trees, homes built into roots and rock. Quiet, safe. For the first time since they left Earth, the humans felt peace. Pete got to work on Isaac right away. Lena brought medicine from their own stores. It wasn't human, but it helped. Days passed. Isaac grew stronger. The black line stopped spreading, then slowly faded. He lived. They all did. Weeks turned into months. The humans stayed, helping the children rebuild what was lost. Teaching them how to grow food, how to fix machines, how to protect themselves. One day, Dan Porter sent a message from Uranus. "Earth knows what you did," he said. "Governments are talking. People are changing." He played a news clip. A man stood in front of a crowd. "Humans went into the unknown," he said, "to save a child who was not their own. They risked everything and they won." People cheered. Dan looked at the camera. "You started something," he told them. "And it's growing." Jake smiled. Years passed. Kiri grew taller, older. He became a leader among his people. One evening, he walked beside Jake and Beck near the edge of the forest. He looked up at the stars. "Thank you," he said, "for coming." "We didn't do anything special," Jake said. "We just listened." "Many would have ignored the call," Kiri said. "You didn't." Beck put a hand on his shoulder. "You were just a kid," she said. "Someone needed help. We couldn't turn away." Above them, a new ship arrived. Not human, not alien, both. A joint mission. Scientists, doctors, builders. Hope. The Echo Hunter was gone. destroyed by those who refused to live in fear. Peace was not perfect, but it was real, and it began with a single cry in the void. A desperate alien child called for help. Only humans had the heart to answer, and in doing so, they changed the stars forever.